Hey guys, it's Heather and welcome back to my channel. So it's a big day today, mulch delivery day. So I thought I could show you how I calculate a bulk load of mulch without a measuring tape because I broke my measuring tape. So it's a really easy thing to do. It involves a little math. You could also just go onto one of the online calculators if math scares you and figure it out that way. But I'm gonna flip this around and show you what they're delivering, what it looks like, and we'll start the calculation. I'm going to do this without a tape measure. I'm just going to simply walk off these measurements, and it's a fairly accurate estimate on my square footage for the space. And my side yard garden is in a regular shape, so in order to do the measurement of it, I break it up into rectangles. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. So this is my side yard garden. It runs from my sidewalk all the way to my gate. So the way I'm going to measure this is I'm going to visualize this as two rectangles. This rectangle from the fence all the way to the sidewalk, and then the rectangle that starts right about here and goes to the driveway. And that's going to make it easier for me to estimate the grand total of square footage for the rectangles when I combine those measurements. It's just a simple mathematical calculation, length times width times depth, to get the square footage of this space. So I'm going to start by walking off the length, which is from the sidewalk to the gate on this first rectangle. And that gives me about 23 steps. And then I'm going to multiply that by 3 because there's 3 feet to a yard, and I get about 69 steps. Now I'm going to walk the width of this first rectangle. So I'm only going to go about halfway down the sidewalk here to get that width measurement. And that's 4 steps, so about 12 feet. So 69 times 12 is 826, I believe. Let me get I wrote this all down in advance. So I think it's 826, 828 square feet, because length times width would be 69 times 12, 828 square feet. And then when I walk off my other rectangle, it was, let's see how many feet here. We had 6 steps, so that's 18 feet approximately, by another 4 steps, so 12 feet. So that gives me a square footage of 216 square feet for the other rectangle. And when I combine those two numbers, 828 plus 216, I get 1,044. Then I'm going to divide that number, 1,044, which is my total square footage for both rectangles. I'm going to divide it by 324, and that gives me like 3.22222. And that is my cubic yards. So that's 3.222 cubic yards for a 1-inch layer of mulch. But I want 2 inches, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. If you wanted 3 inches or 4 inches, you would multiply that original cubic footage by whatever inch depth you wanted. So for me, multiplying 3.222 times 2 for that 2-inch depth gives me about 6.444. But I'm going to bump it up to 7 cubic yards because I have other parts of the garden that I want to top off as well. So let me show you what the mulch looks like. So that measurement that I got, that 6.444, I bumped it up to 7 cubic yards. And this is 7 cubic yards of soil. I'm going to be working all day long, but I'm going to get it done, and I'm really excited about it because it's the final step for my side yard garden, and it's also going to go in other parts so that are kind of running a little thin on mulch. And I tend to mulch like every other year, and because I order a really fine grade, this is a triple ground hardwood fine mulch, which means it's extremely fine. So having such a fine texture like that, though, also means that it's going to break down faster. So if you were to order something that maybe is only double ground or maybe wood chips are really great for walking paths too. I've used the really thick pieces of wood chunks for paths, but I really like the texture of the triple ground hardwood fine mulch. But it does break down fast, so by next year I will just rough this up a little bit, loosen it up, and it will have broken down really well in the parts of my garden that get full sun. So the more sun it gets, the faster it will decompose. But it's a beautiful, beautiful mulch, suppresses those weeds, and it's kind of the cherry on top of my side yard garden. And once I get this mulch down, it's going to make everything in that garden pop, even though it's all very immature right now. It's just the first year for it, but it's going to really suppress those weeds. And I'm excited to get it done and call it a day on that side yard garden for now. So let me show you the side yard garden before the mulch. So it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and this is my side yard garden. And a lot of color going on. Look at that double scoop raspberry echinacea. My goodness, that's been blooming since May. Love it. And then the cobalt liatris just started coming on. And my Irish poet tassel flower that I grew from seed. I love that plant. This is my Seven Sons tree here. That's Tien Shen, I believe, from First Editions Plants. But this is the area. It's all gonna get mulched, and it's gonna just sparkle when I'm done with it. So I'm gonna take it all the way back to the fence. Let me come around and show you what that looks like. So I've combined the tassel flower with the prairie dropseed or sprabolus that I divided from another part of the garden, and I put it in here just so that it can all mingle together, and I'm really liking that effect. But this is what we have right now. And I'm losing one of my North Pole arborvitaes here, this guy here. Not looking too happy. And then look at these these are Picasso gallery dahlias. All right, so this is the area here. All of this from the fence all the way down to the sidewalk. We're gonna bang that out right now. It's been so miserably hot these last couple weeks in the Chicago area, so finally we've got a 70-degree day, and this is the perfect day to bang out this project. But I was holding off doing the mulch also because I had some seeds coming up, the zinnias, and I didn't want to cover those with mulch. So I was waiting for those to come up so I could see where they were so I could mulch around them. I'm going to start off on the edge of the driveway and work my way all the way around and finish this project, hopefully by noon. We'll see. It's 8 o'clock. We'll see. And this job requires a lot of back work, and so you want to make sure that you're properly warmed up, and you can check out this video here that I did several months ago with a very good friend of mine who's trained Olympic athletes. So if you're interested in how to prepare your body and warm up for a strenuous activity like mulching, check out that video so you can see how to properly lift and how to tighten your core and protect your lower back.
Had more of your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
Finished. What a relief. I'm not completely done. I still have a lot of mulch to put down in other parts of the garden, but the side yard garden is done, and I can't wait to show you. I'm going to give you a garden tour, side yard garden tour soon, probably next week. But the mulch is down. I put down about almost 3 inches, and keep in mind too, the mulch is great. It's meant to keep your soil cooler, meant to retain moisture. However, when you've got a new garden like this and you put mulch down, you can have some issues with that, because I made sure that before I put the mulch down, I watered everything really, really well, because if we get a rainfall, that's great, but with the mulch there, the mulch is going to absorb all of that rain, and very little of it is going to make its way down to the roots of my new garden. So gave everything a really good drink, and moving forward, even after a rainfall, I want to make sure I get in there and check those plants and make sure that they've got moisture. So everything's just popping, and that's the beauty of putting mulch down. It just makes all of those, I've got so much color going on in here, guys. I can't wait to show you. So I got the new side yard garden done. I got the old side yard garden done, and this was ridiculously dry in here because it's next to the house and everything in the eave and all that. But everything is looking really well, and the mulch just made it pop. So Thanks for joining along, guys. And if you liked the video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. And if subscribed, I would love to have you along. And if you have any questions about anything that I'm doing in the garden, please don't hesitate to drop a question below. And I will see you in the next one. I'm going to do a side yard garden tour in the next couple days. So it'll be up within the week, I imagine. And yeah, so thanks for watching. See you in the next one.